Hi, welcome to Virtual CB1A. This is Miss Rena, and for today's lesson, we are going to discuss this chart here. So, this is the chart for an educational research. So, the last activity that I have posted in the Google Classroom was an activity to help you in finding your possible research title. So, pinaghanap ko kayo ng mga nakikita niyong problema na nag-exist sa math at the moment. So now let's discuss the diagram for educational research. So first we have the different types. So meron tayong mixed method. So pwede silang mixture ng qualitative, quantitative, and also basic applied evaluation and action. Usually, sa mga math majors, ang ginagawa natin ng mga nakaraang taon ay action research. But this time, I don't think that action research will be a very suitable type for this semester kasi nga iba yung setup natin. But if you can find a way to perform an action research kahit na virtual, then I will allow you to conduct an action research. So, dito sa sa mixed methods, meron tayong tatlong types. We have the explanatory, sequential, and convergent. Sa qualitative naman, meron tayong phenomenon logical, case study, grounded theory, ethnographic, critical study, and narrative. For quantitative, ito yung usually na ginagamit natin. We have experimental and non-experimental. So most probably dito tayo papatak sa quantitative type of research. So this is the type of research that will just allow you to get existing data o kaya kung hindi existing data, pwede kayong mag-conduct ng survey. And then after that, ang gagawin na lang natin ay mag-a-apply tayo ng statistical treatment to prove our hypothesis. So, pwede siyang experimental, pwedeng non-experimental. Now, for sources of knowledge, saan galing yung mga magiging baseline information ninyo in conducting the research? One is experience and intuition. So, kung meron na kayong experience regarding the topic, pwede nyo yung maging baseline information. Next, tradition. Next, experts authority. Hindi tayo pwede dito. And then, logic and reason. Other sources of knowledge are research and disciplined inquiry. So, sa discipline, meron tayong systematic, purposes, characteristics, scientific. And then, the possible steps are question, method, results, and conclusion. And ang format na susundin natin ay ito. Ito yung ginagamit natin sa mga thesis. We will start with an abstract, introduction, review of literature, question or hypothesis, method, results, discussion, conclusion, and references. So now that you are familiar with this diagram, i-discuss na natin sila in detail dun sa mga susunod na discussion. So, charter roadmap, ito yung mga kailangan nating aralin. So, why research? For the learning objective, understand how research can contribute positively to knowledge and practice. So, as I've mentioned noon, dun sa mga post, we are only going to select certain topics that will be discussed in the video. So, hindi lahat ng mga content dito ay i-discuss ko sa video. Kasi yung iba dito, pwede niyong basahin na lang. Hindi kailangan ng intensive na paliwanag ko. So next, we have sources of knowledge, experience and intuition, tradition, experts authority, logic and reason and research. The nature of scientific inquiry, we have purpose and principles, and then applying inquiry to educational research, and then types of educational research and research article format. We have quantitative and qualitative. So let's start with ayan. So, most of the time, ang mga i-discuss natin ay yung mga ganitong klase ng figure. Okay? So, why research? This book is about helping you and others lead a richer, more satisfying life. So, we do research to ease the burden of you, humankind. So, kaya tayo nagre-research kasi may mga problemang nag-exist sa mundo na kailangan gawan ng solution. So, researches are formulated to serve as a solution for those problem. Ayan. So, use of data in decision making, we have data-driven, data-deluged, data-doped, and deleterious decisions. Mamaya natin siya i-discuss. Okay, so ito yung sources of knowledge na diniscuss natin kanina sa diagram. We have first experience and intuition. So some researchers perform research based on their experience, and ang goal nila doon is to prove that what they experience is really a reflection of what it is for the whole population. So it has been said that is no substitute for experience, whether it is your own or someone else's. In education, we rightfully depend a great deal on direct experience to know what works. So for example, you encountered a certain problem while teaching or on your profession, and then you formulated a solution to address that problem. Tapos naging effective siya. So that is one point for experience. And then you want to see if the solution that you proposed or formulated is also effective on the whole population. So magagawa ka na ng research so that mababalidate kung valid talaga yung method na in-employ mo or kung effective talaga yung solution na ginawa mo. Kasi pwedeng confined lang yan dun sa sample mo or confined lang siya dun sa setting mo. Pero pag inilabas mo na siya dun sa sarili mong classroom setting, hindi na siya effective or hindi na siya pwedeng paganahin. Okay, so professionals become effective through practice and teaching, counseling, and administering are no exemptions to this rule. However, imagine if experience were the only way to obtain knowledge, or if you were confined only to your own experiences and those of friends. Not only would it be difficult to know where to begin, but it would also be difficult to know how to improve and how to handle new demands and situations. So when researches can be used to stimulate, inform, reinforce, challenge, and question our own experiences, the intuitive professional judgment that is absolutely essential for effective teaching and leadership is enhanced. Okay. So now let's go to tradition. Many things seem to be done right simply because they have always been done that way. Advice, rules, approaches to handling problems, yung mga teaching principles natin na nag-exist na sinusunod natin ngayon at nakalagay sa Book of Ethics ng Teaching. And right and wrong answers are passed from year to year, from one group to another, as accepted truths. But sometimes we have to question the validity of those accepted truths, diba? So tradition eliminates the need to search for new knowledge and understanding because we simply accept what has always been done as the best or right way. However, pag nakarely lang tayo sa tradition, wala tayong progress. So it makes accepting new knowledge difficult and may mitigate your desire to question existing practice. So for example, the tradition in American public school education of a 180-day school year with a summer vacation makes it difficult to change to year-round schooling. Traditions are also often based on myths or prejudices. Now we have experts authority. People we consider experts or authorities in a particular field are major sources of knowledge. Yung mga theories and principles na may mga pangalan dun sa mga sa mga inaaral nyo sa teaching principle at saka professional teaching sa mga prof ed subject nyo. We often follow these principles and theories and apply it to our style in teaching kasi accepted na sila as effective. Kasi na-test na sila. Kasi suggested sila by experts. So we depend on such authorities whether they are doctors, lawyers, professors, teachers, or plumbers, particularly in our specialized culture. However, as with personal experience and tradition, authority can also mitigate the accumulation of knowledge. So authorities can be wrong and or biased, and the public has a tendency to accept as fact that are actually opinions. So sometimes we have to separate fact from fiction. Ina-apply natin siya sa practice, but it is not tested yet. Alam natin na yung isang tao ay magaling dun sa area na yun, so sinusunod na lang natin sila without proof. So the purpose of conducting a research is to honor these experts' authorities, but at the same time, to find out whether what they say is applicable or true or valid by means of proving. Now let's have logic and reason. So logic and reason, sometimes we can be convinced that something is true because a logical argument is made and defended. And sound reasoning is used to reach a conclusion. Logic and reason, rationalism, rely on accurate premises and foundational facts. However, logic and reason are only as good as the facts and premises that are used. There is a well-known saying that applies here to databases and computer programs that analyze data and generate results. Garbage in, garbage out. Logic and reason are essential in conducting and reporting research, but these operations must be done before and after a careful gathering of facts. Now, let's talk about research. Ginagamit nating baseline or source of knowledge ay mga existing na research. It is said that researches are cyclic. So, paulit-ulit lang yan. Yung mga research na na-discontinue, ibig sabihin, hindi sila relevant. So, if you are going to look for a research title, make sure that it will be possible to continue that research in the future, and it will still be relevant in the future. So in contrast to experience, intuition, tradition, experts' authority, and logic and reason, sources of knowledge that are primarily idiosyncratic and influenced heavily by subjective interpretations, research involves a systematic process of gathering, interpreting, and reporting information. Unlike those that was previously discussed, yung experience, intuition, tradition, experts' authority, minsan din na natin sila question, di ba? Pero si research, possible ang maging result niya, not significant. May mga cases tayong ganun. So, si research, hindi natin siya kaagad iti-take as true. Hindi katulad nitong mga to na pinapaniwalaan na lang natin na tama. Si research, hindi. Yan, nagdadaan yan sa iba't ibang steps. So, kaya mas valid kapag ka-research yung baseline nung knowledge mo or yung source ng knowledge mo. Kasi nagdaan siya sa tamang process. Nagdaan siya sa systematic na process of gathering, interpreting, and reporting information. Hindi siya basta-basta na lang tumatanggap. Inaaral siya. So, research is disciplined inquiry, characterized by accepted principles to verify that a knowledge claim is reasonable. Defined in this way, research is not simply going to the library, gathering information on a topic, and doing a research paper. Rather, information is gathered directly from individuals. Nagsasurvey tayo, nag-o-observe tayo, nangongolekta tayo ng data, nagpapa-exam tayo, nire-record natin ang scores. Or groups, documents, and other sources. So, hindi yan basta lang gumagawa ka ng report, gumagawa ka ng assignment, nagre-research ka from books. Actually, ito ay nangongolekta ka talaga ng data from individuals, groups, documents, and other sources. May mga figures tayo. Educational research then is systematic, disciplined inquiry applied to gathering, analyzing, and reporting information that addresses educational problems and questions. So, systematic and disciplined. Systematic, ibig sabihin may sinusunod na tamang proseso. Means that there are accepted conventions, rules, and procedures for the way studies are conducted and standards for judging quality. Here are some of the characteristics of disciplined inquiry. First, we have skepticism about claims. Hindi ka basta-basta maniniwala. Having a healthy, productive distrust of findings. Lagi kang may doubt. Ano ba to? Tama ba yung sinasabi nito? Totoo ba? Paano mo mapoprove? Siyempre, itetest mo. Hindi basta-basta natatanggapin mo na lang. You have to always check whether a certain claim is true or false or valid or not. Now we have number 2, control of personal bias. Hindi may iwasan na meron tayong mga expectations, 'di ba? Tapos minsan hindi na meet yung expectations natin. We have to discard that when we are doing researches. For example, meron tayong gustong-gustong theory or gustong-gustong technique ng pagtuturo. Hindi natin pwedeng i-manipulate yung data in favor of the things that you love. So you have to control your personal bias. So a researcher's personal prejudices, belief, desires, and attitudes do not result in distorted conclusions. So hindi mo pwedeng i-manipulate yung data mo in favor of the practice or the principle that you want to prove to be effective. Halimbawa, gusto nyong patunayan na kapag ka gumamit ng fingers sa pag-a-add, nagiging mas effective yung teaching. Tapos, sa personal experience mo, effective siya. 'Di ba? So, nung tinest mo siya or ginawan mo siya ng research, lumabas, hindi pala siya effective. Ima-manipulate mo yung data for it to be effective. Mali yun. So, you have to disregard your personal biases. Pagka gumagawa ka ng research, dapat wala kang kinikilingan, wala kang mahal, kundi truth. Now we have precision. To provide detailed, clear definitions, descriptions, understandings, and explanation. So, pagka sinabi nating precise, it means detailed and clear. Okay? So, you have to provide detailed and clear definitions and explanations. Next, parsimony. To provide the least complicated explanation. So, dapat concise din siya or naka-layman's term, dapat yung may intindihan din siya ng majority ng mga possible na readers or audience mo. Next, tentative conclusions that are open to change. Ayan, magkakaroon ka ng mga tentative conclusions. Siyempre, nag-hypothesize ka, di ba? Meron ka ring mga conclusions based on your findings na pwedeng maging open to change, pwedeng mabago, pwedeng maiba. And then, verification of findings through replication when possible. So, ito ay parang corresponding siya to checking. Verification of findings through replication. When we say replication, inuulit or kino-clone. So, para malaman mo kung valid talaga yung iyong research or kung totoo talaga yung research mo, pwede mo siyang i-conduct ulit but on a different sample or on a different population. And then, kapag parehas pa rin yung lumabas through repeated replication and testing, then mataas yung reliability ng findings mo or nung claim mo. Next, we have openness to scrutiny. Kaya tayo may defense. Okay? Kasi, after mo nag-iba siya. So, after natin makonduct yung research, meron na tayong findings. Since may chances that your findings is affected by your personal bias, nagkakaroon tayo ng defense. Tinatanong kayo kung bakit ganun yung nangyari or hinahanapan kayo ng reason kung ba't ganun yung result. You have to explain it to your audience. And then, if you were able to defend it well, defend your findings well, tatanggapin siya ng larger audience. Next, we have logic, inductive, or deductive to provide meaning. Ayan. Alam niyo na naman to, itong number 8. Okay. I think, enough na muna tayo dito. So, yung iba kasi, hindi ko na siya kailangan gawan ng video. The next time that we are going to have a video discussion, I will be explaining to you the different parts of the research na, starting with the abstract, and also, I will be uploading a format on how we are going to conduct a research. And then, I think, enough na yun eh. So, dito na muna natin sila tapusin. Itong principles, next time ko na siya i-discuss. So, thank you very much for listening and see you next time. Bye!